A jury will decide the fate of Jack Jackson, the man accused in the January murders of 3 people at a porn shop in Shelby. Jackson is now being tried in Wilmington for failing to show up in court for a weapons trial. Jackson says fear of former White Patriot Party leader Glenn Miller kept him from appearing. Miller testified today, then the jury deliberated for 2 hours before the judge told them to come back again tomorrow. Both sides in the Fatal Vision case are claiming victory tonight. The man who wrote the book about the Fort Bragg Green Beret who killed his family will pay a $325,000 settlement. Convicted murderer Jeffrey McDonald sued author Joe McGinnis for $15 million. McDonald says McGinnis broke an agreement to write a favorable account of the murder case.
56 people are under arrest tonight and 26 others face drug charges in Robeson County, North Carolina. The arrests follow a 4-month undercover investigation. It's the 4th major drug sweep in the county this year. 220 charges have been filed in the roundup. 2 people are dead near Wilmington tonight, killed in a 6-vehicle accident. Police say smoke from a woods fire made it difficult for the drivers of 3 cars and 3 trucks to see the road. One driver does face charges in connection with the pileup. Some convicts are locked down at the federal prison near Raleigh tonight.
14 Cuban prisoners at the penitentiary in Butner are being held behind bars. That's to prevent an uprising among inmates afraid they'll be transferred to jails in Cuba. The prisoners, who are usually allowed to move freely, came over in the 1980 boat lift. Cuba has agreed to take back the refugees, and their relatives say that's caused many to panic and take some violent action. 75 hostages are still being held in an Atlanta prison by Cuban inmates. One employee who has high blood pressure was released today, and a tactical weapons team wearing gas masks and carrying automatic weapons brought out dozens of men handcuffed. The uprising started yesterday. Prison officials say they're having trouble negotiating with the inmates because they're not unified in their demands.
At the federal prison in Oakdale, Louisiana, inmates are still holding more than 20 hostages. The rebellious Cubans have had control of the lockup since Saturday. Meanwhile, the wives and mothers of some of those inmates arrived in Washington today to plead with Justice Department officials not to send their loved ones back to Cuba. They got no guarantees.
We have promised them a full, and a fair, and an equitable hearing. That we will take into consideration the crimes that were committed by the people involved, their family situation, any changes of circumstances, any things that we might have missed, any mistakes that might have been made, and that, again, this is a full review with nothing up our sleeve.
Some of the family members also begged the inmates to end the ordeal and let their hostages go.
16 people are dead, 5 are hurt after a plane crash in Homer, Alaska. The twin-engine commuter crashed and skidded near the Homer airport today. The plane's fuselage landed in a snowy field and was mostly intact. Witnesses say the plane came down awkwardly, spewing gasoline. A single-engine plane made an emergency landing in a Dallas suburb today, hitting a van and smashing its windows with the wing. The people in the van were shaken up but not hurt. The pilot says the Cessna was having engine problems. Meanwhile, more is known tonight about a crash last month in Indianapolis. 10 people were killed when an Air Force jet fighter crashed into a hotel lobby. Recordings indicate the pilot of the plane radioed air traffic controllers and told them his engine had failed.
And I'll be dead sticking it in and say if there's any kind of housing area close to me in case I have to get rid of this thing.
The pilot's question, though, was never answered.
And I'm going down at the housing area. Chaps 2-4 is going down. He crashed out there. He's burning.
The FAA says there was no set procedure for controllers to answer that question. The pilot ejected before the crash and survived.
The United States and the Soviet Union have an arms agreement tonight. After 2 days of hard bargaining, Secretary of State Schultz and Soviet Foreign Minister Shevardnadze concluded an historic deal. It calls for checks against cheating on nuclear weapons manufacturing and a ban on medium-range missiles. President Reagan says he's looking forward to the summit where he'll sign the treaty. Today, the president was in Denver. He told workers who are developing the so-called Star Wars system that the missile defense program will not be used as a bargaining chip in the upcoming talks.
Let there be no doubt, giving up the Strategic Defense Initiative and the protection it will provide is too high a price to pay for any agreement.
Reagan told the employees the Star Wars program is bounding forward because of their hard work.
A downtown Asheville landmark will be just a memory soon.
It's being removed to make way for a new cultural center. We'll have a live report next. There's some good news about downtown Asheville development tonight.
The new $9 million Pack Place Center is progressing smoothly. Nightcast reporter Tom Christopher is on the scene live with more right now. Tom?
Ken, I'm down here on Pack Square in downtown Asheville, standing in front of the old Plaza Theater. Now, as everyone knows, the Plaza has been a landmark in downtown Asheville for decades now, but it'll soon be just a memory. A memory because it's going to be torn down to make way for the new Pack Place Cultural Center. And unlike the neighboring Pack Plaza project, this project is going along right on schedule. While the troubled Pack Plaza project continues to search for funds, next door, the Pack Place project already has the funds in hand to cover basic building costs. And today, City Council okayed the Cultural Center's design, clearing the way for demolition to start. City leaders who for weeks have been embroiled in Pack Plaza's problems today were lavish in their praise for a downtown project going well.
It's real important to know that the Pack Place project is not tied up with the private developer's project, and that Pack Place is just moving ahead with all of its funds available, and the architect is working very hard, and they're going to hopefully be under construction in the spring. It's very exciting.
One thing that I like about the project is that it's such a great example of a public-private partnership. You've got the city, you've got the state, and you've got private individuals and businesses contributing to this project. And it's going to be a success.
One drawback with the Cultural Center is that it is being built on the site of an Asheville landmark, the Plaza Theater. However, replacement of that structure was deemed necessary when the existing building was found to be structurally unsafe. Now, the Plaza Theater will not be lost forever. Before it's demolished, many pictures are going to be taken of the building, and they're going to conduct a historical salvage operation for historical objects which we would hope would be exhibited in the new Pack Place Cultural Center. Ken and Darcel?
Tom, was there any word on the Pack Plaza project?
Well, we talked to the mayor earlier tonight, and he says that although he and his administration are optimistic that a solution can be found soon, as things stand tonight, things are just about the same, and the project is still stalled due to a lack of investors.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. There will be huge crowds in the Pack Square tomorrow. They'll be trying to get a good look at the annual Christmas parade. The bands, floats, and fun are set to begin at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now at 4:30 tomorrow, WLOS will bring you a complete taped recap of the parade.
And Ken Bostic can give us a nice parade forecast.
Let's hope.
It looks like a good one. I'll be back in just a minute. We'll have a complete look at the parade forecast for tomorrow and a look ahead at Thanksgiving Day, too. And before we get into our regular weather, we're going to show you some pictures from the earthquakes in Southern California along the Mexican border. Now, the severe earthquake rocked California's Imperial Valley again today after the early ones yesterday. The quake measured 6.3 on the Richter scale and was centered about 15 miles north of the Mexican border and approximately 9 miles east of San Diego. The California Division of Mines and Geology estimates the right lateral displacement to be about 4 to 6 inches. That is a strong earthquake. Now, as far as weather goes, we have mostly clear skies around the western North Carolina mountains and the upstate at this hour. Temperatures are a lot warmer than they've been over the past few nights. We're only in the mid-40s. Asheville and Airport both reporting 45. Hendersonville is 46. Greenville 56, Spartanburg 55. Winds are from the south at 3, humidity 92, and the barometric pressure is rising slowly at 30 and 40. It's rather high for this time of the evening. And other reporting stations around the Carolinas, 53 in Charlotte, 60 at Myrtle Beach, Columbia 49, Raleigh-Durham 51. It's cloudy in Atlanta 50 and cloudy in Knoxville 53 degrees. Again, we can show you the cloud cover. There are some clouds, and these are high clouds in western North Carolina, but the front is actually well to the west of us. And as a matter of fact, we'll just zoom right in on the front. There it is. We've got a low centered in southern Illinois with a trailing cold front. back across the Mississippi Valley. Scattered showers all along this front. Some of them are heavy. Let's check the radar and see exactly where those showers are. You can see them right. You can almost tell where the front is right here. And from North Texas up through parts of southern or southwestern Missouri, those are very, very heavy thunderstorms for this time of the year. Well, as we look ahead for our weather map for tomorrow, the front will not move much. This big ridge of high pressure, we don't show the high, but there's strong high pressure right off the Atlantic seaboard, and it's holding back that front. It's not letting it progress. Temperatures for the Christmas parade tomorrow in the 60s. That'll be 2 years in a row we've had a warm one. If you're planning to leave the country now for, not the country, but the Carolinas for Thanksgiving, the only winter weather is going to be in the northern Great Lakes, central Rockies. You could run into some winter weather, and northern New York also could see some winter weather. For Thanksgiving Day, Carolinas and Georgia, we're going to be warm, wet across the Tennessee Valley. Most of the rest of the country will be on the cool side. Here is your forecast. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Overnight low, 38 in the mountains, 44 in the upstate. Tomorrow, we're looking at a partly cloudy day for the Christmas parade. Wind southeast 10 to 15, 65 in the mountains, 70 in the upstate. A nice day Thursday, but we'll probably see kind of a cloudy day, but we're not looking for any rainfall.
Leave the country, huh? Belgian Thanksgiving sounds kind of good right
Leave the
now.
Carolinas.
I know what you were saying. We're just having fun with you. Thanks, Ken.
North Carolina is the strongest East Coast contender for a $1.5 billion semiconductor plant and one of the top 3 choices across the country. That's according to a state commerce secretary. Other East Coast finalists including Massachusetts, New York, and Florida. More tourism and business could be coming to North Carolina from Europe. Representatives from across the state are in London this week to promote the state as a great place to visit and do business. 40,000 European travel agents will hear their pitch for the Tar Heel state. Well, business or pleasure calling Europe may still cost you more, but your local phone bill will be going down if you use Southern Bell. The company says residential customers can expect their monthly bills to drop $1.25.
Of course, Thanksgiving right around the corner. That means a lot of people will be doing some holiday flying, but Bill Elliott's saying, I'm going to stay on the ground for a while tonight.
I think he'll keep his feet on the ground. We're going to tell you about Bill Elliott's near miss tonight, and also we'll take a look at the Rosamond Tigers. It would probably be a safe bet to say Bill Elliott will be sticking to high-speed racing on the ground instead of tooling around in a fighter jet from now on. Elliott was riding in a Georgia Air National Guard fighter jet today over Wadley, Georgia, when his plane collided with another Air Guard jet. They say no one was hurt in the incident. Elliott was filming a public service announcement for the Air Force Reserve when all this happened.
Well, all I know, we were doing some maneuvers, and we made a turn, we came back around, and we clipped the F-15. It all happened so quick, I really couldn't tell you what happened.
Just about a disastrous season for Bill Elliott. In other racing news, Davey Allison has been named as the Winston Cup Rookie of the Year for 1987. Davey won 2 races this season, including that race where his dad, Bobby, went into the fence at Talladega. Davey also won 5 poles this season. Dale Jarrett was second in the voting. Wake Forest first-year head coach Bill Dooley did one better than getting a Rookie of the Year award today. Dooley has been named as the ACC Coach of the Year. Dooley came to Wake from Virginia Tech, and in his first year in Winston-Salem, he compiled a 7-4 record, including this win over his old Tar Heel team. The Demon Deacons got nosed out for an Independence Bowl bid this season, though. Virginia's George Welsh was the runner-up, and Clemson's Danny Ford came in 3rd in the balloting. At 6, we profiled our Team of the Week, Murphy. Well, the Murphy Bulldogs will be at home this Friday night to take on the Rosamond Tigers. And the Tigers moved into the 3rd round of the state playoffs with this win last week against Hayesville. Rosamond was the Appalachian Conference champions this season, and no, it will be a tough task to try and knock off the defending 1A state champions.
Well, the big thing we feel like is we've got to stop their outstanding athlete in Carl Pickens. He's a fine athlete, and we're going to really have to do a good job against him defensively. Their quarterback's a fine little ball player. He throws the ball well, gets it where it needs to be.
We'll have to stop the big plays. They're really a big play team. They can't drive the ball. If we can stop the long passes to Pickens, we can do it.
You need to stop their long runs and long bombs and pass the ball well to Pickens. Need to stop him.
Sounds like Carl Pickens is going to be a popular guy this Friday night. In NBA tonight, Black Mountain's Brad Daugherty and the Cleveland Cavaliers were in action against the Dr. J-less Philadelphia 76ers. They played at the Spectrum in Philadelphia tonight, and unfortunately for Brad and his family, his 23-point effort tonight went for naught as Philadelphia beat Cleveland 108-104. On the college basketball scoreboard tonight, Gardner-Webb over USC Aiken 85-79. Blanton's defeated Draughton of Tennessee 89-87, that should be. And Brevard over DeKalb, Georgia, 69-63. Mars Hill beat Presbyterian 80-77. Mars Hill had kind of a double sweep tonight because on the women's side they also beat Presbyterian 81-71, and Gardner-Webb's women beat Erskine 68-51. That stopped a 29-game losing streak for Gardner-Webb.
And this is Thanksgiving week, a time many of us just kind of look forward to Thursday and the turkey and everything, but a lot of high school football teams are busy this week getting ready for big games.
That's right. Those guys have to practice, so they have to think about that game when they're eating their turkey dinner Thursday. They have to go out there in the cold on Friday night when most of us will be visiting our families and, you know, just sitting around and
the worst part is they have to watch how much whipped cream they put on the pumpkin pie. You know, you have to watch that stuff.
It slows you down, doesn't it?
It does. Thank you, Brian. If you're looking for a new pair of Reeboks to wear on the court, beware. Those popular sneakers could be just fakes, especially if you got them at a good price. Federal agents busted 2 men in Wilmington who planned to sell 1,000 counterfeit pairs of Reeboks and pass 3,000 seconds off as firsts. The fakes don't have code numbers on the inside of the shoe. Some legitimate toys being sold for Christmas could leave your child injured for life. A Buncombe County businessman is proof. At the age of 7, Jack Ware's slingshot blinded his right eye. Since then, the injury has caused him a variety of problems.
In the early 60s, I had what they termed to be a traumatic cataract removed from that eye, and it was strictly due to the injury. And now I've got glaucoma in it, which reverts right back to the original injury.
The possibility of eye injuries caused by several toys that are now on the market is the focus of our special Action Line reports this week at 6. Now tomorrow, we'll show you how speed and power can turn toys into weapons.
Well, it may feel like fall outside, but here's proof it's Christmas time.
And one tree salesman's in the spirit. Those stories are coming up next. We leave you tonight with a couple of stories that ought to put you in the Christmas spirit. Downtown Asheville is lighting up for the holidays. Mayor Louis Bissett helped light this 22-foot Norwegian spruce at the Haywood Park Hotel tonight. This is the first year a tree's been lit in Haywood Park. It was donated to the hotel.
And speaking of donations, 2 Christmas tree salesmen say they want to make the holidays a little greener for Asheville's rescue mission. The men say for every tree they sell, they will donate $1 to the rescue mission. They say they're concerned about Asheville's homeless people, and the money will help with the mission's building program.
Our goal to meet for the rescue mission is going to be $5,000. We hope to sell 5,000 trees this season.
The lot is on North Merriman Avenue next to the Harbor Oak Plaza, but you can call Green's Landscaping Company if you want to order your Fraser fir by telephone.
And if they reach their goal, that's $5,000 for the homeless.
I hope they do.
I do too. That's Nightcast for this Tuesday, November the 24th.
Thanks for joining us. Karen Coulon and Bill Norwood will have all the latest news and weather at 6:55 tomorrow morning.
And of course, we'll be back here with our smiling faces tomorrow night at 6. We hope to see you then.
Good night.